for undocumented immigrants. Churches, hospitals, and schools, they're no longer off limits to ICE agents. On the day he took office, President Trump opened up those sensitive areas to raids, places that were protected for years and broadened under the Biden administration. And that has sparked concern across Idaho. So the question is, could we see agents removing kids from Idaho schools? Aspen Shumper was here, and you talked to a couple school districts and a local church about this.
Yeah, I did. And both the school districts and the church say they're trying to ease some of the anxiety around this announcement, reassuring their communities they are committed to offering safe and supported spaces. The superintendent of the American Falls School District, Randy Jensen, tells me there's a lot of misinformation and rumors being spread. He wants families in his districts to have reliable information. Over the weekend, he sent out this letter to families explaining the school district's role, telling parents exactly what the district will and won't do when it comes to immigration enforcement. Jensen says their job is to educate all students and says the district does not collect any information on students' immigration status. He asks families to update records so administrators know who to contact if ICE officials ask to talk to a student. The superintendent says the district's policy is to alert parents before any conversations happen.
And is the last thing we really want are agents coming into schools and taking kids out of schools. We just don't feel that's a good situation, even though we will support them if that's the law, and we will abide by the law. But that just probably is not a practice that really anyone wants to see happen.
Jensen says ICE cannot walk into schools without a judicial warrant. Now, a church is a little different, and ICE is allowed to go in anywhere in the church, and instead, when they go inside the actual church, but not offices or clergy spaces. For years, even this wasn't a worry for churches.
These spaces are sensitive, and they must remain so, because these are places where people go to seek the most important services and for their own spiritual health and well-being. And it is just unconscionable to me to think that our government thinks it would be okay for law enforcement to rush in whenever it chooses into these spaces that have had long histories of protecting the privacy and the sanctity of the people that they serve and the humanity of the people that they serve.
The Mexican consulate tells me they are developing an app that will serve as a resource guide for communities concerned about ICE enforcement. They say they are also working on an action plan. Now, Brian, we don't have much details on both of those yet. I know they are coming soon, so we're going to wait and look out for an announcement there.
All right. Thank you very much, Aspen.